I thought I was set. Ticket booked, hotel paid, seat picked, until the TSA stared at my license and said, "No star." 2 weeks later, a gate agent pointed at my phone, 2% battery. If this dies, you're not boarding. That's when I stopped flying on luck and started flying on timing. Airports run on clocks. Hit the right minute and everything clicks. Miss one and delays pile up, security slows, the gate flips, a small fee shows up at checkout. In your first 60 seconds, we'll turn chaos into simple, repeatable moves you can actually use at the counter, at the gate, and in the aisle. Want a 120-second head start when things go sideways? I'll walk you through the 2-lane rebook that beats the line, a phone setup that still boards at 2%, and seat picks that match your nerves and your knees, so the airport stops feeling random and starts feeling familiar. In 30 seconds, tip number 1 drops. Ready? Let's make your next flight the calmest part of your vacation. Want to dodge last-minute chaos? Open your phone first. In 2 minutes, the airline app turns into a tiny control tower. It pings you when a gate flips, flags delays before the airport screens catch up, and keeps your boarding pass 1 tap away. The best part is how fast it pays off. I once watched a couple sprint across a terminal because the gate changed with no announcement. My phone buzzed, I finished my coffee, and just walked over. Same flight, zero drama. It's not just alerts. When plans wobble, you can rebook right inside the app while everyone else is queuing at the desk. Need help? Chat beats hold music. Checked a bag? You'll see it leave the belt, load, and land, which is oddly satisfying and genuinely useful when a connection's tight. Before you call that Uber, give yourself 30 seconds of insurance. Save the boarding pass to your wallet and download the PDF to files. Airport Wi-Fi has a sense of humor, and a few low-cost carriers still charge to print at the counter. Offline equals boarding, even at 2% battery. Waiting to check in at the airport is like joining a race after the gun. Everyone else already has a head start. Most airlines open online check-in 24 to 48 hours before departure, and that little digital timestamp can decide who flies when seats run tight. On oversold flights, the stragglers are the first names the system looks at. Be early, and you're harder to bump. Do a quick pass at home. Open the app, confirm your details, pick or confirm the seat, and screenshot the receipt page. If there's a typo in your name or your seat vanished, you're fixing it in pajamas, not under fluorescent lights with a line behind you. Bonus calm. Set a 24-hour reminder labeled "Check in now," then add one more 45 minutes before the cutoff. When the ping hits, you're done, while everyone else is still packing socks. Drop the booking code in the calendar node, and keep SMS email alerts on in the airline app. Fewer taps, same piece. Now your seat's protected. Next problem. When bags wander, most trips stall. Stick around. One small personal item setup can keep you moving even if the carousel doesn't. When bags wander, speed beats panic. Build your underseat backup. Here's what to load and why it matters the minute the carousel stalls. Put the must-haves in your underseat personal item, the bag you carry straight off the plane. That means the ID the baggage desk will ask for, passport or real ID, your booking code, and tonight's hotel details. Treat your phone as part of your documents. Most airlines start the claim with a QR link at the carousel and push updates by text. If your phone dies there, the process stops. Carry a fully charged power bank and a short cable you can grab by feel, so the claim page stays open, the call doesn't cut, and any rebooking barcode stays alive. Plan for the obvious problem a lost suitcase creates: no clothes to change into. Pack a backup you can wear right away. T-shirt, underwear, socks, plus a small toothbrush and face wipe, sealed in a thin zip bag so spills and rain don't win. If the suitcase goes sightseeing, you still arrive at dinner looking like you planned it. Keep glasses and contacts with you, plus a little cash for taxis or toiletries. Use a zippered jacket pocket or slim crossbody. The seat pocket is where things disappear. Everything lives in that one underseat bag. Make sure that bag actually passes as carry-on. We'll size check it at home with a quick hallway test, so no agent points to the sizer and no surprise fee greets you at the gate. Grab real numbers, not guesses. Measure your carry-on after you've packed. Wheels and handles count. U.S. Legacies use 22 by 14 by 9 inches. Southwest allows 24 by 16 by 10 inches. Many international routes also cap 710 kilograms for carry-ons, so if you're switching airlines, plan for the strictest rule. If the bag pushes past the box, an agent's glance can become a gate check and a $30 to $100 fee. Some airlines also check the personal item by size and sometimes weight. It must slide fully under the seat without bulging. If it reads mini suitcase, it risks a reclass at the podium. For checked bags, the common economy allowance is 50 pounds, with a pricier tier past 70 pounds on carriers like American, United, and Delta. Some domestic basic fares include no checked bag at all, so your first bag may be a separate charge. Now that the shell fits, we'll pack it home so the inside works harder. Less bulk, cleaner layout, and zero bin Tetris at the gate. Hate bin Tetris and that open the lid, everything avalanches moment? Here's the fast fix. Shoes in the corners, soles to soles in a thin bag. Lay a flat layer, like a jacket or packing board, to level the base so cubes stack clean and nothing spills when you unzip. Roll clothes into compression cubes. Big heavy in one, tops in another, socks undies in a small first night cube. Wrinkle-prone pieces, blouse, dress shirt for example, go flat on top, not rolled. Weight lives at the wheel end. Light, squishy filler up high to kill gaps. No bulges, no wobble. Cables in a small pouch, no loose wires, no aisle knitting. Liquids where a hand can reach, quart bag on top or in an outer pocket. Tape flip caps, bag potential leakers. One grab, one motion, you're through TSA. Laundry divider under the lid. Clean one side, warn the other. Hats travel face down with the crown stuffed. Final zip check flows from that. Stand the case up and pull the handle. If the top now balloons, your filler's too thick, pull one bulky piece before the sizer calls you out. Here sliding, add a soft layer to lock the load, then you're done. When the board flips to canceled, the longest line isn't the one you see. It's the hold queue you're not in yet. Start two things at once. Walk toward the service desk while you call the airline. If the app has live chat, open it too. That's your two-lane rebook. The first human who answers, phone or chat, wins you the last decent seat while everyone else is still inching forward under the fluorescent lights. Why not just wait at the counter? That agent is juggling 50 versions of your problem. The phone team sees the same seats without a crowd staring. Last summer at O'Hare, my line moved 3 people in 10 minutes. My call hit a Phoenix agent at 6. She protected me on a partner flight 40 minutes later, and I walked away before the queue even reached the station. If the desk opens first, great, you still have a live call as backup. One more tiny edge. Check partner airlines in the app before you speak. If your ticket allows it, ask to be protected on the partner's next flight that works. The word protected signals you know the drill. You'll know it worked when your phone buzzes with a fresh boarding pass and the noise around the desk stops mattering. And if the PA quietly asks for volunteers, lean in. I'll show you the one-sentence script that turns that moment into real value. No drama required. We just beat the rebook stampede. Time for the fun part. When a gate agent starts fishing for volunteers, the first number is a probe, not the prize. Wait, listen, and move when the offer climbs. At Dallas-Fort Worth, an American agent opened at $400. Silence. It crept to $800. Still quiet. At $1,200 plus hotel and meal vouchers, 2 seats vanished. In a good way. Same pattern, different airport. The price rises until enough hands go up. Your line at the counter stays steady and specific. I can volunteer if you include hotel, meal vouchers, and a confirmed seat on the next flight. If they need you, the package grows. If not, you keep your seat. If you're denied boarding involuntarily, skip coupons and ask for cash. Under DOT rules, compensation scales with delay, roughly 200% of the one-way fare capped for shorter delays and about 400% higher cap for longer ones. For example, on a $150 fare, a long delay could mean around $600 in cash under the formula, subject to the cap. Long layover as part of the deal? Perfect. There's a quiet way to turn hours into comfort. Let's talk about lounges next. Hours to kill between flights? Buy relief, not snacks. United sells a same-day app pass for about $59, and starting May 1st, 2025, it's usable within 3 hours of departure. Connections are looser. This isn't a theory. After a red eye, my friend tapped the pass, grabbed a hot shower and real coffee, and felt human before his next leg. If your route runs through American, an Admirals Club Day Pass is about $79 or 7,900 miles. The value call is simple. Pick the network you'll actually walk past in that airport, so you're paying for a door you can reach. Flying Delta without built-in access? Day passes aren't sold anymore. Pivot to card-based lounges, Centurion, Capital One, Priority Pass, same goal. A chair, a socket, good Wi-Fi, maybe a shower. Cost check, so you can see the value. 2 coffees, $12, 1 real meal, $18.22, bottled water, $5, and a snack, $7 to $9, put you near $42 to $48. Add 1 more plate and you're at $60 plus. Lounge pricing, minus the quiet and the shower. You're reset and recharged. From here, we'll choose flight times that sidestep the crowds, so the terminal feels half full before you ever join a line. Sunday after any holiday. Add school breaks, March to April, mid-June through August, and the place tilts into field trip mode. Think of a late Friday at a big hub, rolling bags shoulder to shoulder, food lines curling past the gate, TSA bins stacked like Jenga, while the board keeps flipping. There's breathing room if you aim for it. Midweek tends to glide, especially Tuesday through Thursday. Flights around late morning to early afternoon slip between the dawn rush and the after-work wave. After 9 p.m., red eyes swap noise for naps. Even mornings can feel civilized if you slide a bit past the 6 to 8 a.m. crush. 9:30 to 11 often opens up. Connections can make or break your flow. Avoid the banked peaks at hubs, the moments when dozens of flights land and launch together. A 12:15 connection may move like water while the 1:05 bank jams. Before you buy, dodge 2 traps: the day before departure and the return Sunday pattern, and peek at local calendars. Big games or conferences quietly triple the line. Tune into this rhythm and the terminal shrinks around you. Up next, we tilt the odds even further. Why the first departure of the day behaves better, and how to use that edge without turning your trip into a 4 a.m. punishment. Early departures behave better. The aircraft likely slept at the gate, the crew's fresh, and there's no chain of late inbounds pushing everything back. By mid-afternoon, 1 tardy arrival can ripple into 4 late departures. By evening, you're staring at a wall of delays. Bonus you can feel? Morning air is usually smoother, so nervous flyers breathe easier before noon. Make it realistic. If home is about 1 hour from the airport, or you're staying close, a 6 a.m. works. If it's 3 hours away, the hotel math may erase the win. Timing isn't just alarms, it's whether the counter is open when you show up with a suitcase. Bag drop, super short. Domestic counters typically accept bags 2 to 3 hours before departure. Delta often 4 hours at major hubs. International desks are usually 3 to 4 hours. Cutoffs are commonly 45 minutes domestic and 60 minutes international on majors like American and United. Arrive inside that window and you avoid 2 bad outcomes: waiting around for shutters to lift or racing the cutoff clock. Stage the win, backup alarm, ride booked, ID and shoes by the door. Also, one last move before boarding. Use the terminal bathroom. 2 minutes now prevent a door reopen and an aisle dash later. You're buckled, bins shut, doors about to close, and someone jumps up for the lav. That single move triggers a report, pauses pushback, and can cost the takeoff slot. Cue a runway sit that can stretch toward 30 to 120 minutes in bad cases. A recent example: Singapore Airlines SQ826 had to return to the gate after a passenger locked herself in the lab during taxi. Police removed 2 people and departure slipped by almost 2 hours. Avoid the domino. Use the terminal restroom before your boarding pass gets scanned. It's bigger, cleaner, and nobody's side-eyeing you while juggling a roller bag. 2 minutes now keeps the cabin sealed and the wheels rolling. Which brings us to the lever that shapes your whole flight: seat choice. One informed pick can turn hours in the air from tolerate to comfortable. 6 hours in the air. Do you grit your teeth or pick a seat that actually fits you? Plenty of travelers pay extra and still lose sleep because the seat they chose doesn't match how they live on a plane. Wrong recline, no underseat space, stuck by the galley. Don't gamble. Use your airline's app to spot warnings like limited recline or misaligned windows. Then cross-check the exact layout on Aerolopa or Expert Flyer before you click confirm. Window first. It looks dreamy. View, wall to lean on, no elbow wars. Then the sidewall chill sneaks in at cruise and your toes file a complaint. Bring a light layer or ask for a blanket. Future, you will thank you. Now shift to the aisle. It's the get up and go lane. Hydration runs, stretch breaks, and no, sorry, can I squeeze by? Your knees will write you a thank you note. Flying as a duo? Book window plus aisle in a 3-seat row. Sometimes the middle stays empty and you win a free row without trying. If bumps rattle you, aim mid-cabin over the wing. That's closer to the airplane's center of mass, so the ride steadies while the nose and tail seesaw more. Off-duty crew choose these rows for a reason. Fewer spills, less clench, ginger ale stays in the cup. For quiet, build a buffer. Sit 2 to 3 rows away from galleys and lavs so carts, doors, and queues don't live in your ear. Hoping for a kinder service vibe? The back can be a sweet spot. Carts start up front. By row 30-something, the pace loosens. Maybe a refill, a cookie, a blanket. Trade-offs are real. You'll deplane last, galley lav traffic hums, and the tail is louder. Watch bulkheads and exit rows, too. Fixed armrests, lost underseat space, limited recline, and exit responsibilities mean they're not upgrades, just different rules. Match the seat to your style and the hours feel chosen, not endured. Comfort isn't only about location, though. There's an easy way to keep your energy steady from takeoff to touchdown. If you land dry, groggy, and oddly cranky, it isn't you, it's the cabin. Air up here hovers around 10 to 20% humidity, desert dry. Fix it with a steady drip, about 8 ots per hour. That's 1 cup or roughly half a 500 milliliter bottle, taken in small sips. A light electrolyte mix is fine. Skip the heavy, sugary stuff. Make hydration effortless. Bring an empty bottle, fill it after security, and park it within reach. Tie sips to habits you already do. Every map check, song change, or seatbelt tweak, take a couple. I'll catch up later. Doesn't work at altitude. Go easy on alcohol and strong coffee. Both push fluid out of your system and wreck in-flight sleep, leaving you wired, then wiped. Same idea with salty fried or oily meals. They spike thirst, cause bloating, and slow digestion, which makes long sits feel longer. Go simple and low salt on fly day. Think fruit, yogurt, nuts. Do those 3 and you don't just land hydrated. You arrive with clearer head, steadier energy, settled stomach, and lock in the comfort dividend with 2 tiny upgrades, smart layers and a quiet hero below the knee so circulation stays smooth on long hauls. Cabins swing cool to chilly, so dress in light layers you can add or peel back. If you use a blanket, buckle the seatbelt over it. Crew can see you're strapped in and won't wake you during turbulence. Keep blood moving. Long sits raise VTE/DVT risk, especially on multi-hour flights. Stand or flex ankles every 30 to 60 minutes. Run a quick point circle pull routine each leg and wear compression socks if you swell. If mobility matters, an aisle seat makes stretch breaks painless. Build a sleep bubble. Noise-canceling headphones drop engine hum. An eye mask kills cabin glow. Pair with your usual wind down, podcast, breath count, brown noise, and tell your roommate you'll be offline for a bit. But before you settle in, start with a 5-second tray wipe. It's the surface you'll touch most. We'll zoom in next on that tray for a reason. A tiny clean there pays off more than anywhere else in the cabin. If you're picturing the lav as germ central, zoom out. Your hands spend the flight on the tray table, seat back pocket, and armrests. Trays double as dining tables, desks, and, yes, diaper stations. Seat pockets turn into lost and found for used tissues and snack rubble from multiple flights. Unlike the lav, these surfaces aren't guaranteed a deep clean between turns. Carry a couple of disinfecting wipes and start your ritual the moment you sit. Quick swipe of the tray and armrests, then hands. Eat off the wrapper or a napkin, and stash your passport, meds, and headphones in your own bag, not the seat pocket. If you need another nudge, picture a stranger's cough drop melting in there at 38,000 feet. Yeah, I know. 2 finishing touches that pay off later. Give your suitcase handles a wipe when you land, and if you like fewer shoulder bumps, choose the window so aisle traffic doesn't graze you every 10 minutes. Your workspace is clean. Shift to a quick skin routine that makes a long flight feel a size smaller. Window light at cruise comes with concentrated UV. You're riding above much of the atmosphere's filter, so exposure climbs, especially in a window seat. Studies link an hour at altitude to tanning bed levels, and longtime crew show elevated melanoma risk. Same cabin, same rays. Do the basics that work. Before you leave home, put on broad-spectrum SPF 30+ over your face, ears, neck, and the backs of your hands. On long hauls by the window, lower the shade when you can and reapply every few hours. Pick a light, non-greasy formula so you'll actually use it. Stay comfortable in desert dry cabin air. Top up with a plain, fragrance-free moisturizer every 1 to 2 hours, then seal lips and any dry patches with a thin balm. A face mist feels good, but the cream does the real sealing. Spritz first if you like, then moisturize. Sanitizer is tough on hands, so add a quick layer there after you clean up. Skin sorted. Now for the tiniest MVP at immigration, a pen. Think you won't need it? Wait until the forms land in your lap. One short tip and you'll never board without it. Forms still appear on plenty of routes. The lights click on, cards land in your lap, and half the cabin starts whispering, "Got a pen?" Bring one clicky ballpoint and park it where your hand finds it without thinking. Front zip of your underseat personal item. Skip gels and fancy nibs. Pressure shifts make them finicky. Don't use the seat pocket. That's where pens go missing. Why it matters. You fill fast and move on. No awkward borrowing from the person guarding their pen like it's a boarding pass while the customs line grows. Even on QR routes, you'll still bump into the odd hotel register or baggage slip. Tiny tool, less friction. And while we're on small habits that prevent big headaches, there's another in-flight ritual many frequent flyers quietly skip: the hot coffee tea. Not because it ruins sleep, because of where that water comes from. Tired brain says latte, smart flyer says pass. Most in-flight coffee and tea are brewed with onboard tank water, plumbing that isn't refreshed or deep cleaned as often as you'd hope. Cabin systems can build up residue over time, and that's why you'll hear a lot of pilots and flight attendants say they avoid hot drinks made from the tap. When the people who work up there skip it, that's a clue. Trade the kettle for sealed options: bottled water, canned juice, or a soda. If you're a coffee must person, grab one in the terminal right before boarding and carry it on. And treat the lav faucet like a museum display. Look, don't sip. If you really want something warm, ask whether the water's coming from a sealed bottle. If not, save your stomach for the gamble and wait until you land. Comfort choices add up, and for families, one decision outweighs all the rest. Give your baby a dedicated, secured seat instead of a lap. Airlines allow infants under 2 to ride on a parent's lap. The rule exists. Physics doesn't care. In sudden turbulence or a hard stop, arms can't restrain a child, the same reason you wouldn't drive without a car seat. Give your baby a real seat and an approved restraint. The best setup is an FAA-approved car seat, installed according to the seat's guidance, rear-facing for younger infants when possible. Ask for a window spot so the seat doesn't block an exit path, and confirm your aircraft's seat width against the car seat base before you go. Bonus you'll feel instantly: steadier naps, easier feeding, and 2 hands free when you need them. If a full extra fare strains the budget, watch for sales, use miles, or call the airline to price a discounted infant seat. Some routes offer reduced child fares even when the website doesn't make it obvious. Secure the smallest traveler first, and the whole row relaxes. With everyone buckled, let's upgrade the meal without paying extra. A simple pre-select that often beats the standard tray. Tired of the dry chicken versus mystery pasta duel? Try a quiet upgrade most travelers skip: Order a special meal when you book or at check-in. Vegetarian, vegan, kosher, halal, gluten-free, no medical letter, just a click before the airline's cutoff, often 24 to 48 hours. Why it feels like an upgrade. These trays are catered separately, so they're often served earlier and arrive fresher, sometimes with different sides. On a JFK LHR night flight, I chose vegetarian, meal down early, tray cleared fast, lights out while the cabin was still deciding drinks. Match it to your style. Want lighter flavors? Veg options tend to be cleaner and simple. Need clear labeling and sealed service? Kosher or halal fits. Traveling with kids? Many long hauls offer child meals. Pre-request and skip the 35,000-foot standoff. 2 quick checks so it sticks. Verify the request in your airline app after check-in and mention it once at the gate. Short domestic hops may not load special meals. Overnight and international legs usually do. Long haul done, bags stacked, shoulders screaming, and the cart wants $5. Pause. In many international hubs, trolleys are free. Dubai DXB, Singapore Changi, SIN, Seoul Incheon, ICN. No swipe, no coin, just grab and go. Cross the Pacific and the rules flip. At big US airports like LAX and JFK, carts are usually paid unless you luck into a stray. Before you pull out a card, scan 2 sweet spots for no-fee options. The baggage rewrap counters and the middle of the arrivals hall. Curbside is typically pay only. 5 here, 7 there. Do it twice, and you've basically tipped yourself a rideshare you didn't even take. 30 extra steps can save both cash and shoulders. When you're rolling, keep the flow. Return the cart to a rack, don't park across escalators or moving walkways, and leave doorways clear. Tiny courtesy, smoother terminal, for you and everyone behind you. Here's what most baggage meltdowns miss. Lost usually means late. Roughly 97% of bags find their owners again within about 48 hours, and your moves decide how fast that happens. Give the bag an identity. Put your name, email, and a reachable phone on a sturdy outer tag, and tuck a second card inside. Snap 2 photos before you fly, the bag itself and the claim tag. At the desk, pictures move paperwork faster than Navy-ish. Make it ping. Drop a smart tracker, AirTag tile in a small interior pocket. Real saves. My viewer's phone showed their suitcase still parked near check-in. An agent walked back and rolled it out in 5 minutes. Another time, the tracker showed the bag circling the next carousel. They strolled 30 feet and grabbed it before the announcement caught up. Pre-prove what's yours. Save a quick camera roll, passport info page, itinerary, hotel address, plus a few shots of what you packed, saved offline in one album. Filing is easier when you show, not describe. A tracker won't fold your shirts, but it stops you from playing carousel bingo at 3 different belts. If your bag still doesn't appear, don't wander. File immediately at the baggage desk with those photos and your PNR. And don't be shy. When an airline loses a bag, there's real compensation on the table. Up next, how to file on the spot and claim money, not just apologies. You did the smart stuff. ID, tracker photos, and the bag still ghosted. Shift from search to claims before you leave the airport. Go straight to the baggage service desk and ask to file a PIR, Property Irregularity Report. Get a file reference number. Take a photo of the paperwork and state that you're pursuing resolution under the airline's regulated cash liability limit for lost baggage. Real money, not a souvenir voucher. Don't walk away without a timeline and a channel. Ask the agent for the next update window, for example, by 6 p.m. tomorrow, and the contact method they actually monitor, phone, email, WhatsApp. Confirm the exact claims portal or email where you'll upload documents and request a brief written note in your file, or a quick confirmation email, saying the case is open and how to escalate if the timeline slips. Once you've got a signal, submit everything in one clean packet. PIR copy, boarding pass, PNR, and your bag tag photo. Tight files get faster callbacks than a scatter of messages. Handle it like that and you stop chasing rumors and start getting results. And here's a pleasant surprise while you wait. Airports hide more useful freebies than most travelers realize. Let's unlock those next. Touch down, roll into arrivals, and ask the info desk, "Where's mobile?" They'll point you to the telco counters with giant logos you can't miss. At Dubai, DXB, they hand you a free tourist SIM. Show your passport, they activate it right there, and you're online before your bag even dares to play hide and seek. In other airports, you'll see promo SIMs, not $0, but nicely discounted. Simple play, ask, flash passport, pop it in, done. No kiosk scavenger hunt. Some airports quietly comp your first hop into the city. The trick is your same-day boarding pass. Show it to the attendant or scan at the special reader and you're on. Expect limited hours and specific routes, and it's usually no transfers once you hop off. Easiest script. "Hi, what's free with my boarding pass?" If they say green route 10 to 16, that's your lane. Marooned for hours? Places like Singapore and Istanbul run complimentary transit tours for eligible connections. Your boarding pass is the key. Show your onward boarding pass and passport, sign up at the tour desk, tick off a couple of landmarks, and get back in time for security. Visa rules are posted on the airport site. Worth a peek so you're not that person sprinting back to the gate. Bring an empty bottle through security and hit the refill stations near restrooms or gate clusters. Lots of hubs have them. Some pour room temperature water, so grab a few ice cubes from a cafe if you like it cold. On a long haul, that bottle is VIP. No thimble cup roulette every 2 hours, and your wallet stays seated. It's 2 a.m., the seats are metal, and the armrests were designed by villains. Many airports hide quiet zones built for exactly this. Calmer corners behind frosted glass, at the far end of sleepy concourses, or near lesser-used gates. You'll know you've found one when the lighting softens, announcements fade, and you spot reclining loungers or even nap pods. Price tag, free. To zero in fast, search airport sleep spots before you fly. Traveler forums often drop pinpoint directions. When you settle in, set an alarm, loop your bag strap through your arm, and layer up. The AC has ambitions at night. A short, real nap here beats drifting off upright by gate 47. You've got the moves: when to fly, where to sit, what to carry, and how to bounce back when plans wobble. No elite badge needed, just repeatable habits you can run on every trip from today. Want more like this? Hit like, subscribe, and drop your must-do airport habit in the comments. Best replies get featured next. And I know someone's about to say, those freebies aren't at every airport. Do me a favor, which free perk have you actually used and at which airport? Leave it below so the rest of us can cash in too. Your tip might be the one that saves someone's day.